Good morning, Johnny.
Good morning.
Good morning. We are on Lamed
How are
Hey.
you? So, Ernie, when you following up to your kids?
I'm coming August 28th.
No, that's not what I mean.
I'm
That's not what I
coming
mean.
December, end of December for 10 days. Coming end of this month for 10 days. I'm going to be there a lot.
Okay, looking forward.
I'm coming in April.
All right,
Anyway,
I have 3 tickets already in the next 6 months.
excellent.
Johnny, when are you leaving?
Right after Rosh Hashanah.
No, okay. So when are you going, Ernie, again?
We're going August 28th
Yeah.
for 10 days. We're going at the end of December for August. Dalia Mirz Hashem is having a baby.
Yeah.
And then Zachariah's bar mitzvah is the end of December. And then we're going to go next April for the Yom Ha'atzmaut 75th anniversary. You should all make reservations for that already. The Mizrachi is going to have a fantastic program for a delegation from America.
Mm.
It was in the
When is that?
Mizrachi, the information. Johnny, you can join. Israelis can, people, Americans who are in Israel can join
Okay.
the
When
program.
is this, in April?
Yeah, Yom Ha'atzmaut. It's like
Yom
3
Ha'atzmaut,
days.
okay.
3 days before, 3 days after. It's going to be a whole tour of Israel. And my mechutanim, the Marcuses, joined when we came for the 70th anniversary, and they were already living in Israel, and they joined the Israeli programs. It's a worthwhile program.
Okay.
I'll send you the details about it. Okay, so we're on Lamed Hey. Rav Yochanan said that Chayve Mises Shoigigin and Tashlumim, he'd be Chayiv to pay because there's no Misa, because there's no Asra. So Esrei Reish Lakish and Reish Lakish said, no, you're Potter to pay. Since if you would have gotten Asra, you'd be Potter. Even without Asra, you're Potter. So Esrei Reish Lakish Rav Yochanan, Lo Yeh Ason Anor She'anesh. So you have two people fighting, and then a person strikes a pregnant woman and she loses the children. And it says, V'lo yason, there's no catastrophe. Anosh yanesh, she has to pay. My love, ason mamish, that means if the woman had died, then there would be no money to pay, even if there was no asra, says Rashi. What's this lo din ason? If there's a din of chiyuv misa, then there would be a patur. But if there would be no din misa, i.e., they didn't give her asra, then he'd be chayiv. There's no proof from here against Rav Yochanan. Ikadiyami, other people say that it's the kasha is reversed. Esrei Rav Yochanan Reish Lakish. V'lo yeh ason anor she'anesh. My love din ason. That it's when it's talking about not an ason mamish, but the din ason. Beidim vasra. The Gemara says lo ason mamish. It means if it's only if she died that there's no payment. If she didn't die, there's no raya. Amar Rav Umi, ikelaman do'amar chayvim misa shogi in chayovim. Is there a man do'amar that says if someone is a chayiv misa by shoigeg, that you're chayiv to pay? Va'ataran dvei chizkiyo. Makeh adam umakeh beima. Ma makeh beima lo chilakta bo bein b'shogeg bein b'mezid bein miskavin l'shem miskavin bein derech yiri l'derech aliyah l'potra mamon l'chayv mamon. When you damage somebody's asset, like their animal, Nizikin, there is no Inyan of shoigeg or mezid or miskavin or any miskavin. You have to pay damages. Af make adam lo tachlok bo ben b'shogi ben b'mezid ben miskavin l'shem miskavin ben derech aliyah l'chayv mamon el l'potra mamon. The din by striking a human being is you're always potter from mamon. by Niske Mamon, you're chayiv. But by Dine Misa, by striking a person, you're always potter. So there is no Tana that holds that Chayvi Misa Shogigin, you're going to be chayiv. You're all going to be potter based on this price. In fact, somebody who's chayiv Misa b'shogeg without asra, since if you gave asra, you'd be potter. Even without asra, you're potter. You're chayiv malchus without asra, and then there's damages. Rabbi Yochanan Chayiv, you have to pay because you weren't given asra, and therefore malchus wasn't given. If you don't get the malchus, you don't get the p'tur of the payment. Chayiv misas ishkis. The chayiv misa was compared to makeh behema, but chayiv malchus lo iskish. But you don't have the same hekish between chiv malchus. Reish Lakish Amar Potter. Beferish ribs the Torah chayiv malchus chayiv misas. The Torah explicitly included chayiv malchus like chayiv misas. Where Heichan ribs the Torah Amar Abaya Asya Russia. It says Asherhu Rasha Lamus, and then it says Imbina Kosa Rasha, which reads malchus. So the Torah compares through a hekish chiyuv malchus to chiyuv misa. Rava Amar Asya Makeh. Or popular Rava, hey Makeh, which Makeh? Ilema umakeh ve'mayishal mena. Umakeh adam yumas. High biktolixi. That has to do with chayv misa, not with malchus. Ela high makeh nefesh be'mayishal mena, not nefesh tachas nafesh. The samach levi ish ki ten mun ba miso. Kasher asa ken yasalo. So that's the makeh that compares malchus as well. More of a high love makehi. It doesn't say the word makeh there, but anon hako kamina. It connects even though the same word isn't used, it's the concept. Well, if you're going to say it's the concept, the whole parsha there is written by wounding your friend. We said before that if you wound your friend, you don't get malchus, you pay. So then this can't be the ride for what you want to try to learn. So it works for striking a person which is not worth a shava pruta. Then you get malchus. So in that case, lav bar tashluminu, but then he wouldn't pay. We're talking about where at the same time that he struck his friend, he damaged some nylon that he had. So he has two different averas. We still learn from the Hekesh that he's potter from any monetary damage. How do we know that this is during the weekday? And nobody argues. Maybe the pasuk is written about Shabbos. When there's Shabbos, there's chiv misa, and maybe that's why you're potter. Because you could by behema, you could argue by shogeg when you're not chayv misa and you're not machayv tashlumin. Where says lo sakadai tchsiv umakeh be'ma yishal mena umakeh adam yumas hechidam id lo asru bei. If there was no asra, makeh adam yumas, there would be no capital punishment. Elab shita da asru bei v'i b'Shabbos makeh be'ma yishal mena, there would be no payment. If you had asra, you'd be chayv for chilul Shabbos, and therefore there would be no payment. And the lav b'chol, it's clearly not talking about Shabbos; it's got to be talking about the weekday. Rabba learned that the concept that you pay knas afagav de miktal mashalik, even though you're being put to death, like by the cases of the Mishnah with the Arayas. So masnisin keman mukim lei. Who is the Tan of the Mishnah? Ikarab Meir kashya bito. Bito is capital punishment. And Reb Meir holds that even if you are given capital punishment, you still have to pay. So why didn't the Mishnah mention Bito? Now, Ikram the Chubei Kana. Why did he say it's? Why did he mention Achoisai? He held that Chiyuv Krisis is like being accused of capital punishment. It would also give you a p'tur. You wouldn't have to pay knas. Ikrav Yitzchak, where people get koris don't get malchus, and therefore you pay knas. Kasha mamzeres, where there's malchus. So Hani Chisav Lak Rabbi Yochanan, who holds that even without asra, you have to pay. Unami Mitarz like Rabbi Yochanan. El Yisav Reish Lakish, who said that even without asra you don't have to pay. Why does the Mishnah say you have to pay? So Al Korchak Rabbi Yochanan really, you have to say that the Tana holds like Rabbi Yochanan. Armalei Rav Masala Baile Reish Lakish. The Amar Beferish Rifts the Torah Chayvei Malchus, that the Torah explicitly included Chayvei Malchus Chayvei Misos to pater you from payment. Man Tana the Palagalei Rav Nachum ben Ekana. So who is the Tana arguing with Rav Nachum who says you don't pay? So see, you have your choice. Rab Meir, that you have loiku mishalim, or Rabbi Yitzchak, that people get koris, don't get malchus. Ton Rabban. Arayas ushnias larayas. If you rape a prohibited relation or a secondary relation, ein lan lo knas v'lo pitui. There's no knas paid. There's no money for seduction paid. And the Baraisa, we'll go through the Baraisa. Hamima Enes, somebody was married off by the mother or brothers, and then she did miyun. Ein la knas v'lo pitu. We assume that she's not a besula. Islandess, ein la knas v'lo pitui, because she's never going to have simoni naris. Hayotzeis mishum shemra. Somebody got married and the husband accused her of a shemra. So ein la lo knas v'lo pitui. If she's raped in the future, there's no knas. Now, what do we mean? My arayus to my shnias arayus. Ile arayus mamish. So, midivrei soifrin kiva de b'raisa chazila mayin laim knas. Why wouldn't there be knas? So this we'll pick up tomorrow. We're going to learn in shul tomorrow. Johnny, what time does they say Daf Yomi?
6:05.
6:05. Okay. So we're going to learn, God willing, 6:05, and then we'll have the Navi Shir at 9:30.
No, Ernie, there's a request that Navi Shir at 9 o'clock because Shabbos is out at 8:30.
8:28.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. So will you please send a revision, Mario? Say that the
Yeah.
Navi Shir will be 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Very
Okay.
good. Yitzchak Koach, everybody.
Okay, good Shabbos, everybody.
Good
Thank
job.
Good Shabbos,
you.
everyone. Good Shabbos.
All right.